Barack Obama.
Hey, everybody. And thank you so much, Laura, for not only the introduction, but for the incredible fighting spirit that you've shown. And you're representative of so many people that as I've traveled around the country, I've had a chance to meet and interact with and get to know who know what it's like to be vulnerable in our healthcare system, and now are fighting on behalf of others to make sure that they're not in the same position. And to Leslie and Brad and everybody at Protect Our Care, I just want to say how grateful I am for you guys fighting the good fight for so many years now, tirelessly. I was joking before we went live that I'm a lot grayer than when we started off this whole process. And, Leslie and Brad are a little bit grayer than when we started this whole process. But look, part of the reason I think it's a great time for us to celebrate is because not only is this the 11th anniversary of the ACA, but also because of the American Rescue Plan. Here's a bill that Democrats, led by President Biden and Kamala Harris, but also Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer, were able to introduce as part of the broader pandemic rescue package that is going to provide an additional 1.3 million people access to coverage. And, that's that's 1.3 million folks who could, heaven forbid, find themselves in the same position that Laura found herself in when she walked in to that doctor's office. That's the Dallas metropolitan area. All those people now have the possibility of getting coverage that didn't have it before. The American Rescue Plan is making sure that premiums are going to be even lower under the Affordable Care Act. It is making sure that folks who've lost their job during the pandemic are able to keep their coverage. And that's a lot of folks who've obviously been affected. And it's going to make sure that there are additional incentives to more states expanding Medicaid, which they should have been doing in the first place and should have done a long time ago, but have been stubborn about because certain Republican governors have decided politics and ideology are more important than the well-being of their citizens. Despite the extraordinary resistance that we have seen all these years and that you guys have been pushing back against all these years, we have seen more than 20 million people like Laura have coverage who might not have had it before. We have seen over 130 million Americans have the security and comfort in knowing that a pre-existing condition isn't going to prohibit them from getting insurance, that is making sure that men aren't paying more for the same coverage as, or that women aren't paying more for the same coverage as men are, that are making sure that drugs were discounted for seniors in ways that can be a lifesaver, that young people can stay on their parents' health insurance if they are just starting off and have a job that doesn't provide health insurance, and expanded Medicaid in over 38 states, 7 of which happened after I left office. So all this is a testament to the incredible grassroots movement that all of you helped to build, and the fact that it was still here, going strong, and more popular than ever by the time that the Biden administration came into office so that they could build on it. That would not have happened had it not been for Protect Our Care. It also tells, I think, a broader story about how we should be thinking about change in America. Whether it's Social Security or Medicare and Medicaid, the expansion of our social safety net to make it more fair, more just, provide more people the kinds of support that they need when they get sick or times are tough or as we age. The history has always been that you get the program started. It's not perfect. It has some gaps to it. What I used to call a starter home. You get that first home and you're building up some equity and you have shelter that you didn't have before. And then over time, you build and put some additions to the house. And that's what the American Rescue Plan has now done. Building on the success we had in 2009, 2010, slowly consolidating, protecting, and now building and making even better the kind of healthcare that we need. And the reason it's important for us to understand that process that we're constantly building on these past achievements is because everybody on this Zoom call knows we've still got more work to do. Even with the American Rescue Plan, there are still millions of people who should be able to get Medicaid, but their governors are still resistant, and that expansion still hasn't taken place in some big states with a lot of people without health insurance. There are still gaps in coverage and in the system that we can do a better job of closing. And so our success in the past should not be a source of complacency, but rather should be an inspiration for us to keep on going until every single person in America has the kind of coverage that they need. We are one of the few countries on earth with this much wealth that does not provide health insurance as a just basic right to its citizens. And the Affordable Care Act and now the American Rescue Plan have closed that gap, but there's still folks falling through the cracks. And it's all of our jobs to make sure that we build on these previous successes. And you guys have done an outstanding job of doing that. So my main job is to say thank you. Laura, particularly folks like you are an inspiration because you've lived it. Your story, your voice is what makes a difference. That's what moves people in a way that a bunch of policy talk doesn't do. And it makes it real. And so I could not be more grateful to you. Now, I know I have one other job, and that is to pass on for the rest of the program, hand the baton over to Adam Hoyer. And Adam may not want to be reminded of the fact that I first met him. He was running around Davenport on my behalf, gathering a bunch of potential caucus goers for this young untested candidate for president. So Adam was part of that crew of incredible young organizers who helped me win Iowa and got me over the top. And if it hadn't been for folks like Adam, I wouldn't have been in the White House in the first place to be able to get the Affordable Care Act passed. But I think part of the reason I suspect that Adam continued to work with Protect Our Care and these initiatives is because he remembers those stories that we heard back in 2007, 2008 in Iowa of people who had lost their health care, didn't have health care, had substandard care. It was listening to them that we made a promise that we do something about it. I did my best to keep that promise as president, and Adam continues to keep that promise in his current role. So we're grateful to him. I'm grateful to all of you, and I look forward to seeing you out there on the front lines in the months and years to come. Because just as you guys aren't done, I'm not done either in making sure that we deliver on that promise.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you. Love you. Take care. Be safe.
Thanks.